Yo, what's up, everyone? Back for this Monday slate. We got 11 games on tap for tonight. Gonna be a crazy slate. Gonna probably have a lot of injury news coming out later this afternoon with Embiid questionable, Drew Holiday questionable. I bet some other guys are gonna like tweak a hamstring or something. But let's get into it. Drop a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. First week of the NBA season closed off 4-2. Lost yesterday as Jaren Jackson once again got into heavy foul trouble. It's just going to be tough to trust that dude going forward, I guess. And LeBron James was pretty disappointing. Nevertheless, let's try to improve to 5-2 today. So let's get into it. If you want to join us, you can visit the website. Links in description. Starting off at point guard, a lot of point guard options today with James Harden, 10-1, Steph Curry, Westbrook. Those are the top three for me. Trae Young's been really good this season. The Sixers' defense has been suffocating. The matchup is obviously a tough one against the Philly defense. And Damian Lillard is also fine at 89. That's a pretty cheap price tag there. And if Embiid sits again, then you can go to Ben Simmons at 88. But I like Westbrook quite a bit here, 9,400. He's been really good the first two games, been much more aggressive with the peripheral stats, with the rebounding stats than James Harden. He's facing his former team, obviously, so he's has some motivation, extra motivation today. At 9,400, he gives you that 65 to 70 point upside at a sub 9,500 price tag, something you don't get very often. So might as well just lock in Russell Westbrook at 94. At shooting guard, you can go back to Harden if you want. You can also go to Curry, who the Warriors have looked absolutely awful. The first two games got blown out in both. Curry's not really helping them stay in the game, shooting 20% from three, 39% from the floor. He's obviously going to step up and obviously going to improve those numbers, but over the course of the season, without Clay, without Durant, teams are just going to double Curry. Last season, they couldn't really do that because if they double Curry, then one of Durant or Klay Thompson's wide open. But when you have guys like Glenn Robinson starting and like Eric Pascal getting so many minutes, they're just not going to be a very good team this season. I don't expect them to make the playoffs in the West. But Curry at 95 is definitely a fine play. If Holiday's out, it's such an easy matchup for Curry. If Holiday's in, it's going to make it a lot tougher for him. I don't mind going Devin Booker at 8,500. He's just been so solid. 85 is a really cheap price tag. If Rubio misses again, Devin Booker gives you that added upside with the assists, and he kind of will take over that point guard role without Ricky Rubio. And if you're going like in the 7Ks, I don't mind. Like DeRozan's fine at 75, although I kind of prefer his teammate Aldridge. You can go cheap here with Brogdon, who's been amazing in the first two games. Gives you that added upside with assists, double upside. And he's a really, really good shooter. Last season, one of a few players to shoot 50% from the floor, 40% from three, and at least 90% from the free throw line. If you want to go cheaper than that, you can go with Jamal Murray at 6,500 against the Kings. This is going to be a fast-paced matchup against De'Aaron Fox. It's just been on. Fox has gotten off to kind of a up and down start, but overall he's not a bad player. Murray's just so cheap he can really blow this price tag out of the water at 6,500. You can go Van Fleet if you want, but I kind of prefer CJ McCollum at 63 just because the price tag is so cheap on him. It's a double. It is a back-to-back for the team. But when McCollum gets hot, hopefully he can stay hot for a few games at least. And the price tag is so cheap that he can, once again, just absolutely blow the price tag out of the water like he did yesterday. Price tag coming down after a 52-point outing. First couple games, just couldn't shoot the ball really well, but he is their number 2 scoring option by far. And when he gets hot, Damian Lillard has no problem deferring to McCollum. If he doesn't have a hot hand, Lillard has no problem giving it to McCollum and letting him shoot 25 plus times. So matchup here against the Spurs, I'm expecting a pretty close game. Both teams I do expect to make the playoffs this season, and both are pretty solid teams overall. Small forward here, you got Yanis, 10-6 is your highest price guy. He's been so far really good the first couple games. Last game was an overtime game, so you were looking at like 32 minutes in regulation out of him. Matchup is obviously it's a good one here. Only concern you can have is the spread here is like 15, I think, last time I checked. If this game turns into a blowout, then you might not get a lot of fourth quarter minutes from Yanis, as Budenholzer, he really doesn't hesitate to take out his star players in blowouts, unlike some coaches do. And you wouldn't really blame him taking out Giannis. At 10-6, the price tag is really appealing, but there's just been soft pricing all around on DraftKings to start off the year. I think I kind of prefer the other studs on the slate just because of that blowout risk. Even though I don't really like to predict blowouts, just don't really see how the Cavs can really hang in this game very long. Kawhi Leonard at 92, the price tag's appealing. We've kind of seen a minutes limit on him. Last game against the Suns, he waited until the last couple minutes to come back into the game. I think they are kind of limiting him at 32 minutes, as that's the second game he's played 32 minutes. If he's going to be limited at 32 minutes, that kind of does take a hit to his overall upside, but he can still blow that price tag out of the water in a matchup against the Hornets here at home. If Holiday's out, Ingram becomes another really good play at 75. Gallo's pretty cheap, but we haven't seen him play as many minutes as we like. He's been capped at 30 minutes. Not super appealing there if that's going to continue. Aaron Gordon's cheap enough at 6,200 where he can really have a solid game. We know he has 40-point upside and will hit 40 at least a few times this year. But I like Oubre here, even though the matchup is kind of tough against the Jazz. They're much tougher against bigs, power forwards, and centers with Gobert in the paint. Their defense against like small forward and small forward isn't as scary, matched up against Ingles and Bogdanovic if he's in. 61 for Oubre is cheap. He's really taken a huge step forward this season and last season when he got traded, when he was with the Suns last season. They're going to need his shooting and scoring out there, especially with the injury to Ayton. There's so many more rebounding opportunities to go around, and Oubre's kind of capitalized on that, averaging over 7 rebounds a game throughout the first 3 games. He's just a good overall player. Last time he was in heavy foul trouble, but he still managed to return 6x value in just 22 minutes. So when he's out on the court, he kind of does everything that you want. He's a really aggressive player, gets you rebounds, good defensive player as well, aggressive with the steals. I like him. He can put up 7x value at that 61 price tag. At power forward, you got, Giannis, Kawhi talked about. Siakam at 87 is fine. I love Aldridge and Markkanen. I think both of their price tags are really appealing. Kind of preferring Aldridge here just because he's at home. Matched up against his former team. Last couple seasons, he's kind of saved some of his best performances against the Blazers. And we could see that happen again today. He's just a really good overall player. He plays 34, 35 minutes, 33 to 35 minutes. And hasn't got a double-double yet, but he's going to have plenty of double-doubles. The matchup is a lot easier now that Zach Collins is expected to miss. Whoever they play in a place of Collins is not going to be able to match up as good as Collins would against Aldridge. And with Whiteside guarding, Portal, if Whiteside does match up against Aldridge, we know Whiteside, even though he's good at getting blocks, he's not a really good overall defender. I think Aldridge can have another really big game at 78. He's going to have plenty of 40-point, 50-point, even have a couple 60-point games this season. Probably just like he did last year. A center, if you want to pay up, don't mind Jokic. Probably prefer Jokic over Drummond just because Jokic is only $300 more. If you want to go cheap here, you can go with Vucevic is pretty cheap and appealing at 82. You got Capella at 74. I like this range right here in the high 5K to low 6K. I like Montrezl Harrell 64. Miles Turner 64. Somehow Tristan Thompson's been really good so far. This matchup it's not going to be as easy, but if they do let him guard if he does, the matchup is probably going to be against Brook Lopez, who does shoot a lot of threes. We'll see if he can stay out on the court very long. They might go to Larry Nance, but the price tag is still appealing on Thompson because they will give him minutes, and we could see him just stay by the rim and get the rebounds, and maybe even guard Yanis for a little bit when he gets into the paint. I'm liking Miles Turner though. 6,400. The price tag hasn't really moved on him all year. The first couple games, he's been playing so many minutes, 40 and 38 minutes. You don't get that many minutes, those high minutes very often from centers. Turner is just a really good overall player. Matchup here against Drummond, they've already played once this season, and he put up 46 fantasy points in that one. 1 rebound shy of a double-double in that game. With the way the Pacers are set up, is he's going to have a lot of opportunity this season, him and Sabonis, kind of dominating the 4 and 5. And Brogdon is a very willing passer, so he's going to get a lot of looks all season long until Oladipo comes back. And then finally, the value play of the day is going to be Marquise Chris. Just don't see how you don't play him in cash at least. Even in tournaments, it's a tough one to have there. The Warriors don't have very many bodies at the 4 and 5. The injury to Kevon Looney is going to open up Chris to become the starter and see probably 23 to 28 minutes. And in those minutes, he's a good per minute guy. He's average over at least one DraftKings point per minute in his career. If he sees 25 minutes, that's 25 DraftKings points. You're looking at 8x value at a 3,200 price tag. And it's going to be a fast-paced game. He maybe can get you a double-double if he has a really big game on the glass. Overall, that's what I'm liking for this Monday slate. We got, probably a lot of injury news will come out, so it'll give us more value. We don't have a ton of value right now. Like, Chris is the best value, and there's nobody really close to him. So I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter in the comments. Thanks for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck today.